everyone, it's Jill from theprairiehomestead.com. Today I'm doing a little video to show you some more information about my goat milking stand. You may have seen the post on the blog where I give some photos and some descriptions of this particular stand that my husband built. I actually had a reader though ask if I could do a video showing how it worked, and I thought that was a great idea, so here we are. I will link that other post in this video post so you have it for reference in case you're interested. This stand was kind of built in a hurry. We built it out of just kind of the wood we had laying around, 2x4s, and then this piece of plywood or particle board. Not sure which is which, it's one of those two. It's really simple. We didn't use any plans. My husband's the type of guy who just likes to look at a picture and then just build it. So I'm not that type of person, so if you're not either, you might want to check out some of the plans available online. There's lots of good plans with really detailed dimensions and all of that stuff, so definitely worth checking out if you're interested. I think the most confusing part or intimidating part of the milking stand is the head catch area, but it really doesn't have to be. It's pretty simple. Here's our head catch. This is where the goat is going to put their head in, and then we're going to lock it in so they stay there while we milk. It's all built out of 2x4s. This particular part is just two 2x4s side by side, so it's about 8 inches wide. And then my husband used some sort of woodworking tool, not sure what, to carve out this opening. This is a fairly big opening because we have fairly large Nubians. If you have a smaller breed, you might want to consider going with a smaller opening because I think they would probably be able to pull their head out if they were any smaller. And that kind of defeats the purpose of the milking stand, so keep that in mind. As far as latches go, there's a lot of different ways to do latches. I've seen really elaborate ones where you just get some hardware from the store. We live about 80 miles round trip from the hardware store, so we were in a hurry and we just wanted this built, so we used what we had laying around, which happened to be rebar. We have a lot of rebar hanging around, I don't know why. And so my husband just bent a hook on one end for a handle and then drilled 2 holes into the head catch. This hole over here is just a keeper. It just holds the rebar so it doesn't get lost while it's not being used. You can see it doesn't affect the movement of the head catch. This hole is the business hole. It is drilled into this 2x4 as well. So once this is in place, it locks it in and the goat can't get out, theoretically. The handle you see is just I think it's an old branch or something that, again, lying around, and we just drilled a hole into this 2x4 and stuck her in, and there you go. I like to leave it open for when the goats come in. I've accidentally left it closed before, and they're really tricky. They get up here, they see it's closed, and they're off into trouble before you can get it open. So I just like to leave it open. It's easier that way. I like to feed my goats a little bit of grain while I milk. There's a lot of controversy over grass-fed animals versus grain-fed animals, and I definitely prefer grass-fed milk and meat. However, I do give my goats a small amount of grain while they're being milked. It makes me happier, it makes them happier, and the experience is just better overall. I don't really think it affects their digestion that much because it's such a small amount. And they get either pasture grass or, an alfalfa or grass hay the rest of the time. So I just don't sweat it. I like to go ahead and put my grain in this bucket, which just happens to be an inexpensive feed store bucket. It has lead on one side that will hook over a board. We also have it screwed down so the goats can't knock it off. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of grain in there. And we're ready to go get a goat. I think they're right outside this door, but I'm not sure, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Alrighty, sorry about the wait. They were outside. They didn't listen when I told them to stay right there. So I don't have a cameraman, so it's pretty informal today. You can see they always will go for the closest, easiest grain, which happens to be the stuff in the corner. So FYI. But you can see she jumps straight up here. Now that they know the routine, they just go for it. They love the milking stand. They love the grain. It's not an issue to get them up here. The first few times you do this, you're going to have to show them what you want. You know, they'll come over here and try to eat the grain out of the front, or they'll come over here and put their head into the bucket, but they won't put their feet on the stand. So I think a few times I've even lifted up their hind end and placed it on the stand for them to help them understand what I'm after. The goat's up here, shut the head catch, go ahead and move my latch, and she's theoretically in there. And she's just eating away. She's pretty content. If I was going to milk, I'm not milking right now, but if I were, I just sit on the edge. Some people use a stool or a bucket. My stand is big enough. I just prefer to sit here, and I can go to milking. If you're interested in the whole milking procedure and how to milk, I have another video highlighting that I will also link to this video post. What else? I would like to have my stand up against a wall. Not, necessary, but I find it makes the goat a little more secure feeling. Sometimes if they're out in the middle of nowhere, they'll kind of step off one side or feel like they can flop off. So they just seem to appreciate having the security of the wall. But again, you don't have to do that. It's just depends on your setup and your preferences. For the goat to exit the milking stand, she's done with her little bit of grain. I just undo the rebar, open it up, and they usually hop right off. Or sometimes they like it so much you have to help them off. So as you can see, it's not a traumatic experience for them. They rather enjoy it. So anyway, if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to hear them. Just leave a little note in the comment section. And thanks for watching. I'll see you around.